Good early morning, guys. Ironically, getting ready to go to a trip to Mariota's homeland, Honolulu. So, been Hawaii, get some sun, so since a pig short. JD and Clarence, you both beat me to the video on FFs, Falcons fans since 1970. I'll talk about that in this video. Also want to talk on some football points, which FFs1970 would appreciate, for the record, because he's all about football. And Ring of Honor, welcome to the art. Please, please, please join in. Don't be shy. Have fun. Let's talk fantasy football since 1970. I know his name. That's the truth. However, I've known him since 1999. Isn't that crazy? That's right. This young-looking cat. All sarcasm included. I was on the boards in 1999, pre the Vic Mania when everybody joined, and it's a sleepy message board, except for a few cats. One Big Gazoo, Dire Wolf, and of course our buddy, Falcons fan since 1970, who is actually Atlanta fan, I believe, or Atlanta Falcons fan. Dude, day one, over 23 years ago, which blows my brains. I've been on a message board 23 years. That's crazy, right? He was always a very vocal, very passionate fan, and God, he's annoying as fuck. Let's just get that out of there. But I always liked him about his annoyingness, as he was consistent. Everything from the Vic, who he liked, but he would criticize horribly, to the Dan Reeves, which he loved, and to his last days on the board, he would go, Reeves let go too prematurely. He's a good guy in his own weird asshole manner. Yeah, and he would tell you that probably. Once you get to know him, and I've known him for years, so as you notice, I probably didn't, I would get these spars on him, like everybody, but never bad, because like way back then I realized dude was knowledgeable, he was passionate, and he was funny. I mean, his fucking jokes about TD, the comrade, or shitty hood ornament, or I believe he was a limo driver for real. Take him to the state line, you know. It was a rare gift. And what was weird looking back, and I look back as these guys pass away and they move on. Hell, Shiny McShine was on back then too, believe it or not. That's how far back I go. And Birdweiser, holy God, that's how. Is when I look back in 99, I was 28 years old. Wow, 27, 28, and you get to know people over time. I was born in 71, so he was older than I was, so he obviously had a longer life. But you got where you enjoyed logging in, right? When all the trolls, when Vic Mania took over. I mean, Vic Mania was stupid, right? Then Vic got thrown out, then Ryan Mania came, and people were against Ryan, you know. And you always could count on Falcons fans. That's 1970. 1970 was who he was. It saddens me in many ways that I have a relationship with a guy like that, but I don't know his name. But at the same time, maybe not knowing his name and this board, it was a bigger part of myself than I thought. There were times, that was back when I was a broke ass bastard about to graduate undergrad late, and just off selling suits, but making money. I log on as many times there now, back then, as I do now. In fact, they used to have the old AOL internet. In case you all wonder why I have fewer messages, I got banned back in the old days, and then we were banned for a while. And then we changed over to the new message board, which is really what we kind of got now looking wise. I lost a lot of posts. I was also Eric O'Braden, in case any of you guys are old enough. But the comfort of seeing a guy like that would post some post mock hindsight of, I told you, buddy. Really shine on him. But truth is, he knew his players. The truth is, Yeah, a lot of things look hindsight, but truth is, he knew what he was talking about. The truth is, in his lifetime, and I think I got on here before him. That's crazy, huh? I got on here before him, right? Capologist, by the way, used to be Doug Johnson 11, just so you guys knew this. And it amazes me and pleases me that a message board's family, that a place to post your opinions, that a team could be such a positive influence on this man's life. That says something about the organizational board. It also says something about the quality of people, but it also says what an influencer he was, what a passionate man, how he shared his views, how he shared his opinions with, geez, what, thousands of people over the years. You know, I don't know if any of his relatives will ever see the tributes to him, the things we talk about. And it was important, but it is important as we know that his life was not without value. It was with value. He was a value to me. There were times in my life, like all of you, have been lonely, divorces, God, you name it, things that happen, right? My own life's had ups and downs and this and that, you know. This constant was to go in there, and then you know, especially post Julio, right? Or pre Ryan, you could always count on these clever little piss Annie, make you angry, but make you laugh, fucking little barbs of his. He correctly predicted the Johnny Hoodorm that JD was talking about. He was right. It was the end of Mike Smith. It was the end of normal fundamental Falcon ball. It was. He was right. He had a short window. Gave it a shot. Didn't work. But it was also a non-sustainable level of football at some point. It ended up being, put everything on Ryan and, you know, Julio, and we ignored a lot of things like the fundamentals, like when we had Michael Turner and Jenkins, and the team became a very me-centric team. It began about superstars and flash. I have to think, coming to the game part of the FFs1970, again, I wish I knew your name, but I don't care because 1970 works for you. Has got to be happy with the way this team's evolved, because you're talking about a guy that was really big, the Reeves years. He knew the Lehman Bennett years. That's how he's older than I am, and I knew those years. You have to think he's happy when he sees fundamental team ball, when he sees a team giving a shit about something more than their contract extension at Super Bowl, like Freeman, who, by the way, he called out. FYI, he would always call a player like that. He would call it out. Hollywood Decoud, remember that one? I mean, he was all about the team. We're back to basics, boys. So I'm going to hold a last tribute to my man and move into football. I'm not a Mariota fan still. He could be upgraded, but let me tell you, as a cold-hearted ex-coach, as a, you know, and if you don't know me, I really am an executive manager type. You got to always be looking for the upgrade. I think let's put that out there, which I think 1970s is supposed about him, right? You got to be ready to upgrade your position of your least potent at any point, and really no positions are off hands, which is interesting here because there was a time that Ryan became untouchable. Time when Julio was untouchable, and that breeds complacency. It breeds, I'm about my stats. It breeds about my paycheck. I'm going to breed about that. The downward spiral was the Freeman. Not picking on Free, but it was. And maybe even over him, because everything's about keeping these core people, giving them what they want, but it breeds complacency. You can say about Devo, shit, you just keep going down the lines, right? We lost Curtis Lofton, another team player that FS like. We started getting into the me people. What I like about this regime is it's starting to pay off. Grady, who has always been unselfish, has always kept his fucking mouth shut and played like a rock star, was the one they rewarded. Jake Matthews, that team player that kept on, got rewarded. You see a different type of reward here. You see performance. I still will tell you guys, I wish to God we could have got AS instead of DQ in the prime of, you know, Matt's life. I think Matt would have got a Super Bowl. I still say that we look at Mariota, we got to still back him in. Mariota was not overly effective. Yes, he looked like he had a perfect game, except for one. Look at the place, but that was okay because what I will say about Mariota is we see a team member willing to do what it takes to win the team. He has heart. He has heart. No ifs and buts. Pitts has heart. Heart. He's not bitching. No. London has heart. They run crack blocks. They do whatever. Mike Cole Pro when the play on the practice slot comes in, boom, has heart. Future's bright, boys. We should be 4-1 or 5-1, possibly 6-0, right? So here's the bad. Let's go bad first. The bad is, the truth is, Mariota is limited as hell. This ball works. It could work. I'm going to give Obi a little love here because I busted balls playing back and forth about Stetson. Stetson's been able to overcome that game manager and be that, right? Can our defense, is it right now this year that dominant to carry in playoffs? That's has to be positive and negative. If not, you're not going to win the game, Mariota. You'll get a great play. You'll get some things, but he will turn over. His pass record shows, and his concern here. We were lucky yesterday. He had less defenders. Whatever it was, he had a decent game. Can we sustain that kind of level of game management? It's been done. Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, other players. But can it be done? That's the question. So right now, you guys still look at Mariota. Let's see. I think the secondary is always going to be an issue. Not because next man up. I'm going to go positive of that because we a deep secondary. One could argue you need one more cornerback. You need one more star back there. And whether that star be a free safety that can drop down a slot covered nickel. I posted about Alabama safety coming up in draft. We need a D-back. Well, I'm going to talk positive on that because it's not all dire. The other area. I still wonder if we're a tight end shy. I know that seems crazy. Yet Parker, yes, which is certainly hell of a blocker, H-back, fullback extraordinaire, makes that rough catch. Michael Pruitt, somewhere. Pitts, who I will call receiver. But the truth is, this damn offense runs around those tight ends, man. I would not be surprised, and this is early draft, we do go into the tight end will again. I mean, those are your playmakers in this offense. Your wide receivers get big yards per reception, but honestly, the tight ends move the ball, and that's what it likes to do. You get the running option. The quarterback's enough of a threat, that you know he could run, which keeps him back a little. But at the end of the day, this offense, in my opinion, I could be wrong. Correct me, all you guys. Tight end, run, go over the top, take a shot, and that's how it works. That would be one. The other weakness, or again, I'm saying weakness with a grain of salt, please, could be D-line rotation. This team's obviously very good at picking players. TF knows D-lineman. P's knows D-lineman. So this isn't terrible, but you could argue with the rotations and the different flex type of fronts we play and the different stuff, you probably need to look in a fairly high round at another rookie or veteran. Now, one reason we split off from the dungeon was because of the group thing in there. Doesn't mean I hate the dungeon, just means I like the R better. They'll say, oh, yeah, I ain't 350 pounds, blah, 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 blah. Gotta have Jordan Davis. Yes, Jordan Davis would be fantastic, right? London was a ready move, right? But we don't necessarily need a 350-pounder. We need a stout contributor that's going to make people forget about it. That's going to put yet more pressure, because a lot of pressure on this offense comes off that front line, either in a 3-man front or 4-man front, applying pressure, then the outside linebackers or the edge guys come down, and obviously you got the secondary, which is we built up. So it doesn't have to be a behemoth. It can be a Jason Ferguson in this prime, 290, 300. It could be a Aaron Donald, right? Oh God, who wouldn't want Aaron Donald, of course. It could be a lightweight player that plays that like that. So I'm getting, it could be a penetrating guy. But when you rotate, you do need that. Can Marlon Davidson be a guy? I don't know that he can. He has not proven to be well in that area. So let's go positives. Oh man, let's go positives. One, I'm without Troy Anderson, man. I know I've told you guys, and I was around, I think me and Jed were all over this, and I don't want to play hindsight. Spirit 1970, I believe I was all over Troy Anderson. He's perfect for D's. Simplified, run around like a fool. I mean, dude, he saves touchdowns on special teams. His speed, power ratio is some stick. He's a Energizer bunny. You got him. Evans is very good right now. Maybe he should be resigned. I'm not arguing that. Walker's hurt, but when Walker's in there, forget about it, right? Linebackers, strength. Walker's out, no problem. Next man up. D-backs, again, while I said earlier in weakness is that we need more D-backs, I'm saying that is a position you could add another playmaker to. Truth is, we're very deep, very deep. Oliver comes off injuries are no problem. Hawkins is a keeper, told you. Clarence. Richie Grant, good player. Hayward, obviously, I don't think everybody knew that was going on. Terrell's all pro. Alfred, good God, dude, right on. That boy came in and Clarence y'all all over that. But the fact is, you could have another game changer back there. I'm leaning toward D-backs. Honestly, don't laugh. I think you need one of those great players you're seeing in the college level now. The safety of this position is interchangeable. They can play slot and nickel as well. So a D-back would add a lot of things to it. Linebacker, yes, you could add, but man, we got a pretty good linebacker core. I don't know. Maybe you do. You could argue, right? Maybe you get another dynamic player to put with Walker and put with Anderson. Receivers. Weirdly, Zacchaeus, I still am not a great man up, is definitely balling out. Bird and I can't remember. It was Jordan Edwards. Sorry, Edwards, we traded for him. London, great pick. Pitts, great pick. But again, I think you don't necessarily need another receiver, but you could use one. Use something in the tight end or that, just that extra ball player to get that more stuff in. Running backs adequate. Would not hurt adding a Bijan. I mean, it's one of those positions. But if you look at the Tennessee Titans, they put a lot of collateral in running back. So obviously, O-line you could, and D-line I pointed out earlier. But I think this team, leaving Mariota for last, is really, and I mean this, literally a playmaker away on either side of the ball from making that next dynamic move. And I say dynamic move, not just being playoffs. Dynamic move, like you start talking Super Bowl. That's crazy sounding, right? I honestly would put that in the defense. But you could argue another dynamic tight end, dynamic running back that can be a dual threat, right? You could. And so I'm going to touch on running back last and then go to Mariota. So kind of negative, but not really. Mariota, love his heart. Don't love his big capability, especially when you get into playoffs. It's temper or win, although we dominated in all phases, and you should do that, right? You still didn't have Bosa. Get some players down, the starting corner stuff. How good is Mariota? Is Ritter the answer? You got to find out, I think, at some point, is Ritter. Because maybe Ritter's not. Maybe he's deaf, and that's okay, too, right? Third rounder. The other thing, defense, even though Trey was in there, I don't think Trey would have made much difference because I think we look at 49ers, we see the same problem. They have Debo, Samuel. They have Ayak. They got some running backs and good thing. They have a good offensive line, but the fact is, they're like us. If they get behind a game, it's a lot harder for them to do. And then when you have Jimmy G in there, no threat of run, it gets even worse. So they got similar problems. We're going to have to, quote Falcons saying since 1970, we don't need no shiny hood on it. We need a player that's a baller for long offense, a player that's selfish, a player that's tough. He understood the unity of a team. Is that fair? Again, defense, just a guy, just one more guy that can just be a dynamic player. But listen to positive. Mariota, balls up to you, bro. Hard, did well. Stay within that game. We'll ride you. Still gonna get on your ass, but I'm good with you. Defense, Jalen Hawkins, D. Alford, Terrell, Troy Henderson, Michael Walker McCoy. We're starting to get the playmaker. Obviously, great playmakers on defense are starting to make plays. Bam. Pass rush is coming. Is it sacks? No, but you can see the difference, right? Offense. You got some receivers, but the fact is, if we're going to keep playing Mariota ball or possibly, even Ritter ball, the passer, we're going to have more targets. Caleb Huntley, powerful back, makes some runs. Caleb can be a little shaky on the pass blocking. I don't know if Caleb's a dual threat. He may end up being, the last name escapes me, like Fred over in Baltimore. He's that guy that you get some carries to just to soften things up. Tyler Giller has ability, but is he anything more than a first round? Because right now he may be a change of pace. Maybe Caleb's a change of pace. Can Avery Williams be that smart? I don't know on that. But throw another positive. Darren fucking Hall. Dude, we knew you could play slot, but boy, you balled out, son. So the future's bright. I had predicted 9-10 wins. I still do. Not sure how we would do in the playoffs yet. I'm just going to be honest. We don't want to know until we get closer to it. I think Mariota's still a weakness. And last but not least, just talk about FS. Falcons fan since 1970. Brother, I don't know if you drank, so I'm going to post a coffee to you way early in the morning. I'm going to Hawaii. I'll eat some roast pork for you, bro. If you eat pork, I'll delay, but you will be missed. Your color to this board. You transformed this message board into something dynamic that has been a big, big place in my heart for, 23 fucking years. Isn't it crazy? Go through X lives, still got a message board. Go through trouble, rich, poor, up and down, still do it. This place will never be the same without you. I'd also like to say, hey, Ring of Honor, I'm not going to get personal business, but you posted something that made me really want to reach out and touch you. You have plenty of people to touch you. People reach out. To you all, most of you are friends. I may never meet you, but you're friends. I know your first name in here. I love the football talk. You all have fun. I'm going to take a shower, drink some more coffee, get on a long-ass flight to Honolulu, and I will be posting some video from Aloha Land, baby. Y'all have a great day. Bye.